the fundamentals of leadership, edification and storytelling is the foundation of it all. And the way that you came in and totally slayed your edification, your ability to tell the story, that is key indicators for me that you are definitely up next. So congratulations on that. Thank you, Dana, so much for coming in with your energy, and the same to you, Tiana. And so this week, I'm super excited. I'm really, really excited about this call because this is like an inner circle call. I put it out there last week that I only wanted to work with the people that were really, really ready. And I stressed that through the emails I sent. I stressed that through a text that I sent last week. I stressed it today. This is not a call for everybody. Because what I realized very early on over my last 10 years in this industry, that if you convince a person to do something that they don't want to do, they'll do it not in the spirit of excellence, and they'll still be of the same opinion still. And just because energy is transferred, right, we know that that's a bad idea. So I didn't want to make this a mandatory call. I didn't want to promote this call, and I did not promote this call. And I did not promote this call on my story because it's not for everybody. See, here's the thing: when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So I knew the people that needed to be on this call made their way to this call, and we have 109 people on this call. And I tell you what, with 109 people on this call, I'm okay with that, because I know that if we can get about 20 to 30 of y'all to break global, 20 or 30 of y'all to go ambassador, this is going to be one hot group that people are going to be talking about for decades. And I tell you what, it doesn't take a large team to really get everybody on this call to the next level. I tell you something, when I look back over what Stormy and I have done over the years, and there's been leaders that have come, there's been leaders that have gone, there's been leaders that have done absolutely nothing for 2 to 3 years and came in and just totally crushed it whenever they decided to wake up. And so I'm just excited for where we are right now. 100 people that have stepped up and said that they're ready to be a leader. They're ready to be put on the spot. You guys are ready to start serving. That's huge. That's huge. Most people, they don't want that, right? And so I'm just excited. It's a chill day for me. These calls are going to be very, formal. I'm obviously gonna. I want to. You guys are all leaders, right? And so, in order to be able to get the what I exactly want from this, I am going to have to unmute, right? I want some of you guys to give me some feedback. I want to be talking. So let's please, please, please be adults. Mute your phone if you're not talking. This goes for this week and the next 3 weeks coming up. This is going to be a 4-week academy. And I just want to make sure that, as we're doing some role playing, as we're, going over questions and answers, as we're doing different exercises, I just want to make sure that nobody feels like they were cheated or that they didn't get exactly what they came for because somebody wasn't muting their phone. Okay. All right. So as I was sitting thinking about how I wanted to, and then right when I finished saying that, somebody unmutes their phone. That's classic. That's classic. Whenever y'all ready, it's cool. I got all day, Whenever y'all want to mute, it's cool. All right, cool. Now, so I want us to, as a team, right? I know that the reason why I've been able to attract such talented people like you all, the reason why I've been able to stay relevant for 10 years, y'all. I've been in this industry of direct sales for 10 years. Imagine that, I remember being in my studio apartment in Ontario, California, because I thought I was fancy because I was able to move out of my city of San Bernardino and I moved to Ontario. And, I was, definitely wasn't rich, but I was kind of making it work. And I remember, my car kind of being in repossession status. I remember, I remember my lights being turned off, honestly. I remember, um, I remember just really being in a place to where, I was sort of dependent on people around me. And my pride and my ego at the time wouldn't always allow me to ask people for stuff. But I just remember being in a very low place physically, in the physical. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. And I'm not perfect, and I've had my moments of where it's been up and down mentally. But mentally, I have always been where I'm at right now. And when I say that, I mean my level of just knowing that the best is yet to come. And I think that uh, one of the fundamentals of being a great leader is dealing with self first. Because when you're going through whatever you're going through, you should be growing through it. So that way, when you have people that experience what you are now experiencing, um, or you have people that are experiencing now what you experienced, you can walk them through it. Shout out to Kimmy getting her, apartment. Shout out to Kimmy for, coming in here and really showing that TLC could work. Shout out to Tiana for really coming into this thing and showing that, listen, you could be a mom, you could be, you could have a full-time business and you could still do this business and make, great part-time money, right? Shout out to all the leadership out there that is just proven day in and day out that this is possible. So a lot of you guys have come to me with different issues that you've been having, maybe not this month. This month, I don't know what y'all been drinking. Everybody is just happy and just goddamn, I don't know what's going on. But, there has been times where, I've had to be strong for you all. And there's been times where you guys have had to be strong for me, right? And I think that, that is the key to my longevity. That is the key to why I'm still here. I can't tell you guys how many people I've seen come into this industry and they make a little noise and they gone. They come into this industry, they shoot to a top rank and they never hit it again. They come into this industry, they burn a bunch of people and their team leaves them. And so I can't tell you how grateful I am to have attracted such an amazing tribe like you all. And so over the next 4 weeks, I just really want to share with you really everything that I did mentally, physically, emotionally to ensure that I arrived at the destination that I always imagined for myself. And I was thinking about like what book. Let me take off my shoes. Hold on, yeah. I was thinking like, what book should I start this group off with? And what I realized is that if you think that you're a leader and nobody is following you, then you're simply taking a walk. And a lot of times we get put into a position, and sometimes the title, the position, the money tricks us. It makes us believe that we are something that we are not. What I love so much about the universe is that sometimes you could be at the right place at the right time and experience a life that you necessarily have not grown into. You could experience a life that you may not necessarily deserve. Now it's yours, it's assigned to you because for whatever reason you were there, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you are ready for that position. And so my hopes is that I get you all ready to be able to confidently say, I am a millionaire. I am so happy and grateful now that I do live where I want to live. I am driving the car that I want to drive. I do make 100, 200, 300, 400,000 a year. For some of you guys, you can do that in a month. And so the book that I chose for us over the next 4 weeks is the 21 Laws of Leadership. 21 Laws of Leadership. And if you guys are willing to commit to it, I promise you, I am willing to commit to it. Actually, I'm going to commit to it regardless. Because although I read this book before, I don't really remember every law. honestly. And sometimes spaced repetition is the mother of all learning. So to go back and read and apply and go back. And I think the level that I'm being called to in this season is going to require a new level of myself. And, and so I know that taking that journey with other people could only increase the likeliness of us staying rich forever, you know. And when I say rich, I mean, you know, just rich emotionally, rich financially, rich spiritually. I think that when you arrive at a place of just complete gratitude. Today I was walking. Yesterday, actually, they started the demolition of my house, and I went today to look at it. And I'm walking through my house almost in tears, y'all, because as I'm looking at my house, so I'm leaving one of my houses that I just paid off, by the way. So now I own a house completely right out. The house was built in 2018, y'all. I had a mortgage for 2 years. The house is $413,000. And I cut a check and said, don't worry about it. I own my house completely. And that's just the house that I'm in right now. And then I drive from this house, right? And I go and I pull up to now my estate, and I drive through the gates, and I see this big old blue dumpster outside, and I see my neighbors, and I'm waving to, you know, Kathy. I don't even know if her name is Kathy, but she looks like a Karen or a Kathy. So I wave at her, you know, and I wave to this side, and I'm looking, and kids are outside on their bikes. And I'm just like, wow, like coming from a city where I'm from, and then just going into this $1 million neighborhood that I just have to get used to. Like, it's just different. It's different for me. And different from the standpoint of, like, you know, I've been making money for some time, you know, but sometimes I would avoid certain environments because it would make me a little uncomfortable, right? I would avoid certain things because I didn't feel like, see, sometimes when you don't feel like you belong, you really start to neglect yourself. You really start to neglect where you should be because you don't feel like you should be there. And so one of the notes that I want you guys to take is really believing in this season that you deserve everything that you desire. And you guys hear me say that, but listen, I really want you to understand in this season that you deserve everything that you desire. You deserve everything that you desire. Because sometimes we look around us, we look at our past, we look at what we've been through, and we say, well, who are we? Who am I to think that I deserve to live here? Who am I to think that I deserve a person like this or an opportunity like this? When in actuality, you do. You really, really do. The universe wants to give it to you. And so the 21 Laws of Leadership is where we're going to start. I think we should actually read this book every single night. Let's go ahead and do it at around, I'll say, let's do it at 8 o'clock. No, because I got to be 6, 7, 8, 9, 6. Let's do 30 minutes a day. Let's do 30 minutes a day. And here's the thing. I'm not in the business of keeping anybody that doesn't want to be kept. If you don't want to take this journey with us, by all means, it's okay, right? But I do want to put it out there because I know out of 100 and something people, there's going to be a solid 30 to 40 that are going to join this book club, if you will. So let's do 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So what's that, 9 Atlanta or 9 Eastern?
That's when our training and our opportunity calls are. You want to keep?
Okay, so give me another time. Yes, it's by John C. Maxwell. Give me another time that we can do it where we don't have to come on here and do it, but as a group, we can listen at the same time, and we can maybe put everybody that's in that chat together, and we can kind of comment on what, and let's just go through the chapters together. And if we do it for 30 minutes a day over the next 4 weeks, we'll be able to complete the book.
7:30 Pacific Standard Time would be good if the 1,000 Black Millionaires is only 30 minutes. That way we can knock it out and it's universal.
Yeah. Don't worry so much about that. This is another thing I want to talk to you guys about.
7 o'clock then.
Yeah, get on the 1,000. The only thing, this is the thing. Be at trainings for sure. But when there's opportunity calls, it's more important that you get your guest on the calls. If there's something else going on and you're choosing between an opportunity call that you've seen and something new like this, you're always going to choose this. And anybody will tell you that. Coach will tell you that as well. So you just want to get your guests on the call. You don't have to be watching it with your guests. You can say, hey, listen, hop on this live. And when you get done, tell me what you like best about it. You know what they're talking about already. Right. And so just make sure you guys understand that it's okay. You know, sometimes some of the things that we do will conflict, but I really know, I know for a fact that us as a group, there's an energy once we get in alignment, once we start really being on the same frequency. Like, I didn't even have a conversation with Brittany before this call, and it was like we had a conversation. I don't know if it was telepathy or what the hell. It was like, all right, Brittany, when you open up the call, I need you to have high energy. I need you to make sure that you're edifying. I need you to actually show them through example what I want to train. And it's like she did it without even communicating. And that's what happens. That is exactly what happens right before we take off. In 10 years, I just know what I know. And I just know when people are ready. I know when people are in alignment. I know when people are not in alignment. It's just one of those things that I've been kind of gifted with. When you talk about over my career, you know, helping, you know, personally 16, 17 people personally earn 6 figures. You know, you do it 1 or 2 times, you know, maybe you got lucky 3 or 4 times, but just imagine being able to find and identify 16 people and being right 16 times. And because you were right, they're financially free. Because you're right, they bought their home, they bought their cars, they're eliminating debt. And it's not really about me, but it's just to say that I'm just really proud of the people that are stepping up. And so that's basically what I'm saying. So when you're going into presenting, right, understand that as you are presenting, there are rules to presenting, right? A lot of you all are on here to figure out how you can start serving on the calls. And I realize that that's what you guys really want me to talk about. And I'm going to get into it, but I want you to understand that even when it looks like it's scripted, even when it looks like it's not scripted, and it's not most of the time, but it is, right? Like, I don't go and say, Kimmy, go ahead and just read this, and this is what I want you to say on the live. Like, no, but we understand the flow. And so the flow of the call is understanding, excuse me. So the flow of the call is understanding TLC's story. Total Life Changes started in 1996. It was started in a basement of Mr. Jack Fallon. A few years later, he was able to connect with John Licari, which is his COO. They met at Ford Motor Company. They decided that they wanted to take this little bottle of NutriBurst and turn it into really the biggest thing to ever hit network marketing. They then knew that they needed another person. That's where they found Rosa Armina. So now the 3 of them, Rosa, Jack, and John, started building Total Life Changes. Total Life Changes is now in multiple states, multiple countries. We operate in over 150 different countries, right? We have 24-hour customer service. We're a debt-free company. Our products work. We've created close to 100 millionaires inside of Total Life Changes, right? And last year alone, we did $500 million in sales. So the psychology behind that is that when people are listening to an opportunity, they only want to know a few things. Is it real? Can I do it? And will I get help? And it's your responsibility to solve those questions. So, is it real? Well, listen, we've been around 20 years. Well, listen, it started off with Jack, then Licari, then Rosa. Well, listen, we operate in 150 countries. Well, wait a minute, we're a debt-free company. We did $500 million last year. So psychologically, as people are listening, it's an art to presenting. Do you know why I would consider myself one of the best presenters in TLC? Not because I'm the most articulate or whatever the hell ever. I understand what you are thinking as you're watching, or what you should be thinking. There's only a few different type of people in the world, right? There's only a few different types. And so when you're listening to an opportunity, you need to be able to quickly identify the pain points, quickly address what they're asking without them even asking, right? So boom, is it real? We solved that. Can I do it? Take notes. Take notes. Is it real? Can I do it? Now, as I'm going through the presentation, is it real? Well, so I get really excited when I do this part because, I want to share with you a story about a young lady that I met quite a few years ago, but more recently, in our adult life, I found out that she was working at Birds and Coat Factory. She was making around, $3,000 a month, $2,000 a month. And, I really felt like she was overworked and underpaid. And so as I started to look at and identify who I wanted to work with going into my new season, I felt like she had enough ambition to make it work underneath my leadership. So I reached out to Kimmy. Kimmy came in and lost 40 pounds in her first 30 days, right? And then went on to earn hundreds of thousands of bucks, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now she's traveling the world. She's bought her apartment. She's working on purchasing another car. She's doing this, she's doing that. She has 6 figures in her bank account, right? And so is it real? Can I do it? The can I do it? They're really asking you who that looks like me has done it. Now, obviously, when you're telling Kimmy's story, you're telling Tiana's story, or Dana's story, or my story, a lot more excitement. But I don't want you to get caught up in me saying it exciting, because I can get really excited and then you're just paying attention to the excitement. I want you to understand the psychology behind what I'm saying. When you're talking to a person, you could blah, 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 blah. All they want to know is who has done it that looks like me. Boom. Will I get help? Listen, every single week, every single day, there's some type of training going on between 1,000 Black millionaires, between 1,000 families, between Coach Stormy, Darryl Drake, the Vibes. We have trainings that go on, multiple times throughout the week. So you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Because guess what? People are saying, okay, yeah, I know that it's real. Okay, I get that there's people like me that are doing it. But I mean, who's going to help me with this? Like, I give y'all my money. Like, who's going to help me make this thing work? I'm new to this. So now I'm saying, hey, listen, I already know what you're thinking. You're going to be in business for yourself. And what am I telling them psychologically? If you fail or if you succeed, it's on you, bro. It's on you, sis. But I am here to help you. And guess what? You're not just in business with me. You're in business with Coach Stormy. You're in business with Darryl Drake. And the better that you do, the better that they do. So they actually have an incentive to help you. So I'll be here as your running partner, but you're also partnered with two of the most phenomenal people that the industry have ever seen. And they're here to help you. And they're serving every single week. Right? Does that make sense? All right. Learning your upline story. Okay. Well, first, learning your story. So like, I know for my, like, so here's the thing. When you guys hear me say that people buy from people and they don't buy products and all of that, what I'm really saying is that people need to know you, and they don't have to know your whole life story, but there's a wall. Every time you meet a person, there's a wall, and every piece of information that they know about you, that wall goes like this, which allows you to now deliver what you need to deliver. Otherwise, The wall is up here and you're trying to give them information, but there's a wall. So the more you say, hey, listen, I'm a mom, I'm a dad, I'm a brother, I'm a sister, I work a 9 to 5, I work at FedEx, I've tried this thing before and I failed too. The more you become relatable, the more information you privy them to, the more likely that they'll feel more comfortable with you. Think about it. What makes a best friend a best friend? Time and experience. Yes or yes? Your closest friends, the people that are closest to you, the only thing that makes them as close to you is time and experience. And so as I'm talking to new people, I'm getting familiar. Like, what do you do for work? Right? One second. Matter of fact, I'm just going to do that right now. So as I'm talking to people, I'm forming them. Form, F-O-R-M. Please write this down. I want you to, this is something that I don't even know if I've ever taught on, but it's something I never forget. I never forget this. I mean, it comes second nature to me. Even when I don't even talk about me doing it, I'm doing it. And this is what it looks like in a conversation. Form, F-O-R-M. F is for family. Hey, Chrissy, what's up? So tell me about yourself. Like, do you live in an area? Do you have kids? Are you married? Right? Because remember, Chrissy's wall's here. And the more I get Chrissy to communicate with me, the wall goes like this. Right? So you married, you have kids. How many kids do you have? How old are your kids? Right? Secondly, O, occupation. Nice. So you got 2 kids. What do you do for work? Does it allow you to spend quality time with your kids? Why did I ask that question? Because I'm setting up for another question. So your occupation. So what do you do for work? Oh, okay, you're a nurse. Oh, you work like 14-hour shifts. Wow. Does that allow you time to hang out with your 2 children? Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. Right? So that's O, occupation. R, recreation. R, recreation. So man, between having 2 little ones and working 10 to 12 hours out the day, what do you do for recreation? Like, and keep in mind, this is a person I met up the street. I may have met at the hookah bar. I may have met at the gas station. What do you do for recreation? What do you do for fun? Like, what is there to do? What is there to do around here? Psychologically, I'm including myself into what they have going on. What can we do around here? I hope y'all catching this. The reason why you want to know this is because you want to know who you're dealing with. If a person says, "Oh, I don't really do nothing for recreation. I like to stay at home. I'm not interested in any of that." I know right away. Don't worry about it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Because that person is not that person can't make it, but depending on where you are and your level of coaching, you may not want to deal with that type of person. You may want to find only people that's vibrating high. And if this person is just dead to the world, that may not be a good situation. So I'm always asking, what do you do for recreation? What do you do for fun? What do you like to do? Even if it's not going out, maybe you like to paint. I like to paint, right? I'm kind of a homebody too, for real. But find out what they like to do. And lastly, motivation. What is your motivation? Why do you exist? Why do you think you exist? So I hear you saying you're a nurse. Like, what is the end goal with that? Like, it's like being a nurse, is that kind of like what you've always wanted to do? Or are you, saving your money to do something else? Like, what keeps you going? And I guarantee you, if you successfully make it through forming somebody, you would have made a friend. Keep it authentic, keep it smooth, practice. But this is how I got started in this industry, talking to people. Even if you do it like, I started off just talking to random people, everywhere that I went. Now we have social media. It's a lot less like in your face, right? They can just leave you on scene if they don't want to talk. But hey, listen, I really, really enjoy your page. Like I'm watching how you're, interacting with 2 kids, 3 kids, your husband, your wife. Never assume. I don't know. Are those your kids? Man, they're beautiful. Right? What do you do for work? And this is what I'm texting people. I see you guys are out there. You just went snowboarding. Is that what you really like to do for recreation? Exactly, Whitney. All right. As we're talking about our story, and I want to throw the form in. I was going to add that into next week's training, but I just gave y'all that right now. And so I'm definitely going to be on time with these trainings. So I'm going to end this in 10 minutes. And so now when you're when you're doing the presentation, I want y'all to follow me. Stay with me. 10 more minutes. When you're doing the presentation, this is the process. TLC story, humor, laugh, character. Don't seem like a robot. Nobody wants to just be with just a dry, robot-y person. Have some personality, have some humor, tell some jokes. Testimony. Until you get your own testimony, share somebody else's testimony. And guess what? Your main objective, leader, should be to create your own testimony. Like I'm in the process right now of creating a new testimony. Me making money is an old ass testimony. I'm tired of my only testimony being like, yeah, I came in and I made a lot of money. It's great. It's still getting people attention because goddamn, let me tell you, right? But imagine when I get in shape. Imagine when I'm just on a whole new level. You know what I'm talking about? So for me, I'm still a student. I hit Stormy up. Like, what do you think that I can do? What do you think is holding me back from that $1 million a month? Is it my presentation skills? Is it my leadership skills? She said, listen, you one of the coldest people in network marketing. What's holding you back from where you want to be is that you are not a product of the product. I said, damn. But I had to take that. You see? And I'm okay with that. I've always been okay with constructive criticism. That's the thing. I've never ain't no ego in getting money. Ain't no ego. Listen, I'm under the leadership of Stormy Wellington, which is a female, right? There's no ego. I went out and been able to do some phenomenal things, and I'm still a student to her, right? She doesn't always, we don't always agree. I don't always like what she does, but I'm still a student. She made $12 million in 12 months. Okay, cool. So for you all, mastering stories, being a product of the product is so important. Even dropping 10 pounds, dropping 15 pounds, making an extra $100. I don't know who it was. Somebody sent me I don't even know if they sent me a message. I'd be moving so fast. Somebody made, I think, $20 or $40 last week. And I was going through the stories, and by the time I click, I didn't even get to see who it was. I don't even know if I responded. But it just took me back to like, that's a story. That is a story. If you make $20, $50, $100 in TLC part-time, and you've been in a month, 2 months. That's a story. It was you, Alexis. It was you. It was you. Congratulations. That's a story. I promise you, Alexis, you
Yes,
come
sir.
on, you start presenting, for instance. Not you, Alexa, turn off. I said Alexis. Well, Alexa just turned on. Hold on. She tripping. She think everybody talking to her. So for instance, you made $20, you made $40 last week. But every week we're having meetings in Vegas. And now somebody comes in that they may not know if it's real. They may not know if they can do it. Shit, if they could just make $40, they're sold. They don't even know if TLC is really paying people out. We could be all paid spokespeople. I'm serious. I'm serious. People really don't believe it. So imagine you saying, hey, listen, I got in. I'm doing this thing really, really part-time. I'm a mother, right? I got this going on, got that going on. I stepped out on faith. My first 2 weeks, I was just figuring this thing out. And then Coach Darryl asked me, am I binary? And at the time, I really didn't even fully understand what binary was. But that next week, when I seen Coach Drake, I said, you know what? I'm binary. I binaried at the second meeting after he asked me. And then I made $20. I made $40 extra. How many people can identify with that story? Everybody don't need the stormy stories. If that was the case, everybody would be direct to Stormy. Everybody don't need the Darryl Drake story. If that was the case, everybody would be direct to me. People just need what's real. I don't care if you made $10. Be real about that. $20, $100, right? And it's not going to shock me that Alexis is going to get to 500 and 1,000 because she's okay in her truth and whatever that is. And by her doing that, she's going to attract more people like her, and she's going to show a bunch of people how to make $20, a bunch of people how to make $40. You see, $40 not a lot until you got 200 people on your team making $40. Somebody going to catch that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to save this piece for next week. So we got the 48 laws. I'm sorry, we got the 21 laws of leadership. Let's start that. When are we going to start that? I feel like my grandma. When my grandma, because I had a lot of cousins, right? And my grandma would go through like 6 of our names before she got to the person that she was really trying to talk to. But I'm trying to talk to Quanda. Quanda, put up 21 laws of leadership. I know, right? Stay calling somebody else's name. My dad would be like, she'll go through 20 of my cousins just to be like, Darryl, you know who I'm talking to. I'd be like, yo, I don't know who you're talking to. That's hilarious. So put that up so people can see what it looks like. So we understand now the 21 laws of leadership. We understand telling TLC story, having humor, testimony, and going through an experience. We understand the flow of a call. Hopefully, I think I went through that. We understand how to form a person, because all people are trying to figure out is with them, what's in it for me. They want to know you before you could know if they're even interested. They want to know who you are before they start giving you all this information, credit card, social security. They want to know who they're dealing with. And here's the thing, they're not looking for a 5-year relationship. They're not looking for, somebody to be their BFF. They're just looking for you to ask the right questions. I've recruited thousands of people personally, and I've done it with building authentic relationships, caring about their family, caring about their occupation, caring about what they do for recreation, and caring about what they do for motivation. So here is John C. Maxwell. 21 Laws of Leadership. You can get it on Audible, Amazon. You could buy it. Let's all, as a group, please get on that. Once you're on it, do me a favor, text me that you're on it, and then I'm going to add you to a group. So every night we could just go ahead and just share what we learned in that chapter. And if we started at the same time for 30 minutes, obviously we'll all be on the same page, right? And so, wow, we got up to 143 people decided that they wanted to be a leader. That's amazing. All right. And always remember this, guys and ladies, authenticity wins. Authenticity wins. You don't have to be the best presenter. You don't have to be the most beautiful person on the planet. You don't have to have a freaking six-pack with a perfect butt and perfect boobs and all this stuff that society is telling us. Man, just be you, be dope,
Be yourself.
right? And I promise you, it'll work. It has worked. It will work. It's going to continue to work. And next week, we're going to get it a little bit more intense. This week, I just wanted y'all to get into the psychology of what a person is thinking when you are talking to them. It's not about what you want them to hear. It's about what they hear. It's not about what you say. It's about what you're saying is being perceived. How what you're saying is being perceived. It's not about what you say. It's when I listen to what you say, what did I just feel? What did I just think? When you start mastering that art, this is an art, you're going to be good.